On Labor Day, I ran into our governor, and the governor's conference of governors is happening. She has to get on a plane today and get out there to do her obligations. They originally were going to do a screen shot of her, you know, giving the usual spiel of, I'm your governor, and these are the things that we're going to talk about, and these are the things we want to work on. I said, I don't think that works. I said, I think you have earned way too much respect for the people in this room. You should come. And she goes, absolutely, you're right, and I want to come in there. So I'm going to read what I have written. Normally, we'd have a long and glowing introduction, and believe me, there's a lot we could say, but it's all good. She's not even halfway through her first term as governor, but we've already made incredible progress with her administration. And although we have a long way to go in filling a high number of vacancies across the state government, she's done her part by working with us to negotiate and ratify 2 historic contracts. A 1-year deal followed by a 3-year deal before the initial one even expired. Through these 2 contracts, by the end of the first term, state workers' wages will have increased by more than 20%. You know, we get a lot of promises from elected leaders at all levels. All too often, some of them are empty promises or they overpromise. They ask, hey, be patient, we're all still friends. Well, Governor Healey says, we can be friends, but I'd rather be partners. And at the Labor Day breakfast, I watched her do something that really impressed me. She took a moment and called out a union leader. She called out Jimmy Evans. And everybody knows the debacle that Charlie Baker left the MBTA in. But instead of just telling the union, you're going to do this and you're going to do it our way, they want to know, let's have a partnership and let's figure it out and get it together. And Jimmy Evans and Philip Eng, is that his name, stood side by side the podium on Labor Day. When's that ever happened? Never. So, in regards to our Council 93 family, we just came through, and we're still coming through the end of the pandemic. Many of you state workers, if not all you state workers, have taken your time, where at times you could be putting your life in jeopardy. You're taking care of people who are sick. You're getting ordered to stay. You got all these different things going on, but at the end of the day, you're improving somebody's quality of life and making their lives just a little bit easier and a little bit better. This governor stepped in and recognized that. So without further ado, I want to bring this governor up to a roaring ovation from Mashpee Council 93, Governor Maura Healey.
The introduction and congratulations on your election. I know this is the first, right? That you're emceeing this whole thing, and it's awesome. I appreciate your partnership, Mark. It's great to see you. You do a fantastic job. You're also a charter member of Massachusetts' first ever Labor Advisory Council for state government. I did that as governor. First time a governor's done that. Really appreciate your partnership. Your presence. All of our great friends from Massachusetts, this great state, recently voted #1 state for education, for innovation, #1 state to have a child, to raise a family. If you're a woman, #1 state to live. We have a lot of great stuff going for us. And one of the things that we do really well together is teamwork, and it really is about partnership. And I just so appreciate all of the folks in this room in so many, many different ways. But one of the ways is for always being at the table in everything that we do, informing policy, informing our laws. We know that when we do that, we're going to have better results. We know that when we work and support unions, our economy is better, our state is better, our country is better. So I want to thank you. Also great to welcome our friends from Maine, which was once a part of Massachusetts, and I work a great deal with Governor Mills. Also Vermont, I know, is represented, so it's great to see so many. And New Hampshire, I grew up just over the border by Hampton Beach in Hampton Falls, so I have a lot of love for the Granite State, and I will be working my butt off alongside you to elect Joyce Craig, who is pro-union, pro-worker. She has the solutions. Her opponent in that race, Kelly Ayotte, remember, supports right to work, doesn't support workers, doesn't support the right to organize, doesn't support reproductive freedom. And so I just say that because I know I'm going to be working hard for Kamala Harris alongside all of you. You were out early to endorse Kamala Harris, who I worked with as Attorney General. I have the privilege of serving now with Tim Walz, great guy, great for unions, he'll be an awesome vice president. So we want to work hard for that ticket, but we also want to work hard for Joyce Craig up in New Hampshire. I'm thrilled to be here today with my partners and teammates, our terrific Secretary of Labor and Workforce Development, Lauren Jones, who is she's a leader in our administration. She leads the way on partnering with workers on everything from apprenticeships and getting people in the door to actually, growing our workforce and always supporting our unions. So, Secretary Jones, thanks for all you do. Our fantastic labor advisor, Roger Burnell. We created this position first time ever. So we're in constant contact with the labor movement. Tiger talked about the contracts that we got done. Really important. We believe in our workforce. We want to support our workforce. And, out of the gate, yes, it hasn't even been 24 months or 2 years. We wanted to get this done. We know that members of this union are the backbone of municipal workforces, state workforces, and of our economy. And that's why we wanted to make the investment. And I'm just so grateful for the work that you do. I'm also mindful that, a lot of the work that you do, these are jobs that can't be done from home, a lot of them, okay? And you mentioned the pandemic and what people went through. I think about our great DCR workers who right now are maintaining our beautiful parks and recreational spaces. There are frontline workers when you think about our workforce in public higher ed, keeping our college campuses clean, welcoming, and safe for students. There are mental health workers providing direct care to some of the most vulnerable among us, whether at DMH or DPH or DDS or DYS. And I really appreciate that because we know we've got a mental health crisis in this country and so many of you are on the front lines. I really appreciate it. No matter the day of the week, no matter the weather, you all are out there and I really appreciate that. I also know there aren't enough of you. There are workforce challenges, but one thing we can do is start paying people, more, and that's part of it. So, we hope that we see more doing. Long overdue. In addition to that, there were other things that we got done. A new commuter benefit that's going to reimburse up to 50% of the cost of public transit starting in January. By the way, Phil A. and Jimmy Evers, the teams are doing a great job making improvements on the T. Increased pay for staff who work nights and weekends, and for staff with proficiency in a second language. We've also committed to more. We've committed to bringing back into state government the HR functions for leave management, right? I know that was important, that had been outsourced in the previous administration. We brought those back, and this will ensure more responsive services for your members. We know that staff shortages are putting extra pressure on everybody. As I said, raising wages is one way we're going to incent and keep more people in this great workforce. This is about communication, it's about partnership. I mentioned the Labor Advisory Council. I talked about the great work that Roger is doing, that Secretary Jones is doing. Also on our boards and commissions, we want labor represented across all agencies, okay? And all boards and all commissions, working with our folks in labor and our friends. We've been able to appoint more than 80 union leaders to boards and commissions here in Massachusetts. We've also increased funding for registered apprenticeships. And that happened in the state budget with the unions, including AFSCME as our partner. So, look, labor is at the table in everything that we do. And our administration, we're proud to be pro-worker, pro-labor, pro-growth. You can have it all actually. It can work if you work in partnership, right? That's what it's about. And if you support people. I know as governor, nothing gets done without people doing the actual work. I can say things, I can announce things, I can promote policies. At the end of the day, nothing happens unless people make it happen. You all are the ones making it happen. I'm proud of the record. I'm proud of what we've done for Massachusetts. I look forward to so much more we're gonna do, and we're gonna do that working together. So as I say, the focus I think for us right now does have to be on the politics. Elections matter. Elections have consequences. And this election in November is huge. Remember, I served as Attorney General here. I survived the Trump years, barely, okay? We cannot go back. And while, not everyone may agree with everything, right? That's natural. That's natural. But you tell your friends, you tell your families, you tell the guys that you hang out with, okay? If you want to protect rights, if you want to protect freedoms, if you want to protect democracy, decency, if you want to avoid chaos and unsteadiness, which is not good for anybody, if you want our children to have a country and a government to look up to, right? That's what we want. You're in government. Government's good. Good people in government. We do good things for people. I'm asking you now to have hard conversations, do the work, knock the doors, make the phone calls, and get out every vote you can here and across New England and across this country for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Okay? Thank you for your partnership.